When it's good to break the budget. Hey there YouTube, today I've got a special case episode on when it's good to break the budget. And this episode was inspired because of this email that I received. And it says, "Hi J3, I wasn't able to enroll to your course because I used it to pay for my debts. I am now 70k pesos in debts because of payday loans. Due dates are happening every day. I do not know what to do. Collections are calling me already. Please help. Thanks." Now, to give some context to this, the course she was talking about costs a few thousand pesos. And inside the course, it shows you how to get out of debt and avoid future debts and how to deal with these pesky collection agencies. So when I read her email, there was a huge temptation to say, "I told you so. I told you to enroll in the course. Why didn't you? You could have avoided all of this." And I have the confidence to say that because we've got countless students already getting out of debt. For instance, here's another email that I received from someone who enrolled into one of my courses. And on the email, it says, "Hi J3, I still cannot believe I've paid off one of my credit cards in 2 months." And it continues on. "In the past 15 years of having credit card debts, this is the only time that I was able to pay them without another consolidation loan. I'm blessed to have encountered financial literacy. There was really a need to change my bad money habits. Thank you." Now, both of these subscribers were having trouble with debt, and here I was presenting them with a solution on how to get out of debt. But they reacted differently. In the first example, the way she was thinking was, "I'm in debt, so I can't afford to enroll." So she used the few thousand pesos to pay off some of her debts. And it was a good short-term solution, but it cost her more in the long term. She only solved the symptom, being in debt, wherein her real problem is the lack of financial education. So while she was able to survive for a few months, still debts kept on building up. Now, on this second example, she was also in debt. In fact, working with her, she has more debts than this first person. But she realized that the few thousand pesos to enroll in the course was worth it if she could learn how to get out of debt permanently. It costed her in the short term. She lost a few thousand pesos and even got into more debt. But as a result, she gained the financial knowledge on how to improve her situation. It benefited her more over the long term. Now, my message here is simple. Buy my programs and courses, it's worth it and it works. But to get to the point, budget isn't everything. Going over budget and even going into more debt can be the better option if it helps solve a problem in the long term. You see, many people say, "J3, I can't afford your course or your training. I don't have any money." And my response to that is, hey, if you don't have any money now, what are you doing to have money in the future? Are you working on increasing your income? Is your wealth mindset even in the right place so that you're motivated every day to grow your income? No? Well, that's exactly why you need our courses and our programs. The best time to study is before you take the test, not during the test and definitely not after the test. But this is what's happening to people when it comes to money. The schools don't teach us about money. It's going to take the government years before they implement financial literacy programs. And it's a whole new discussion if the programs they will implement will even be correct and effective. So no one is teaching us about money. But every day, we are tested with money. Give the wrong answers, you'll end up in debt. You'll end up living from paycheck to paycheck. You'll end up having a job where you are unmotivated, unfulfilled, and underpaid. And live a life where there is never enough. And this is what's happening to majority of Filipinos. But if you take some time and money to study about money, you're going to start giving the right answers. You begin to save. Later on, you begin to invest. You start having a career that makes you happy and pays you well. Maybe you even get to start your own business down the road and help your family and friends and other people you care about, and you get to enjoy financial freedom. This is what only a few Filipinos get to experience. Well, because they are also the few that took the time off and the money off to invest in their financial education. Manny Pacquiao trains hard and prepares before each fight, not during, not after. The best time to learn how to swim is before you jump into the ocean. So when is the best time to learn, study, and train for the financial battle that you are fighting right now? Well, the answer was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The next best time is now. Don't delay it. Don't wait. Don't wait to be burdened in debt before you seek training on how to get out of debt and avoid it permanently, because it's a lot easier to avoid debt than to get out of it. Don't wait for the problems and the emergencies to happen before you seek training on insurance and healthcare and how to build your emergency fund. Because once the emergencies happen, it's already too late. You can get buried into debts. Don't wait 5, 10, or 15 years stuck in your career before you seek training on how to have a better career that makes you feel alive and actually pays you well. Because the longer you stay stuck, the harder it is to find better opportunities and create momentum in your career growth. Don't wait for you to get scammed or get into a bad investment before you seek training on how to choose an investment. Because once you've already invested in something, your money is tied to it. And if it was a bad investment, very little can be done already. Don't wait for your business to fail before you seek training on how to start a business. Because again, when the contracts have been signed, when you've already got employees and overhead expenses, it's harder to adjust and change business strategies. My friend, this video may seem like a hard sell to you, but it's the truth. I feel now that I should actually apologize for not hard selling so much before, for accepting it when people said, I don't have money. And it was better for people to follow their budgets rather than enroll in our programs. Not anymore. After 7 years into teaching financial literacy, I realized that budget isn't everything and it's okay to break the budget because of the success stories of my clients. For instance, last July 2017, one of my clients, we'll call her Dr. J. She's an OFW dentist who was buried in 300,000 pesos in debts. She didn't have a budget, but she signed up to my coaching program, which was 150,000 pesos at that time. She borrowed money for it. We worked together. She kept on learning and growing. In 3 months, she was able to get out of debt. And 24 months later, July 2019, she came home for good with 1.1 million pesos in her bank account. All savings. Now, looking back at her experience, it actually worked for her that she didn't have a budget. I personally wondered what would have happened if I told her not to sign up for the coaching program and just pay off her debt instead. I was curious what she thought, so I asked her, and this was her response. She said she would probably have stayed the same, meaning still working abroad, she would have stayed in work that she didn't like, and don't have options now for myself. And options, meaning the 1 million plus she has saved. So, to cap up this episode, when it comes to improving your financial future, remember that budget isn't everything. You can go over budget. You can even go into debt. You can take that hit on the short term as long as you improve and grow and win over the long term. Hey, Jather here, and I'd like to tell you about my newest program that's changing the lives of hundreds of Filipinos right now. It's basically an all-access pass to my trainings, my coaching, and to a fantastic community and support group. Best of all, you can afford it. But you cannot afford not to be a part of it. If you'd like to learn more about this and have a kind of life where you have financial breakthroughs every single month and life just keeps getting better and better and you're learning, growing, and improving every single month, then I'd like to invite you to my Journey to Abundance membership program. All the details you can find at PinoyMoneyAcademy.com/JTA. That's JTA for Journey to Abundance. Again, the link is PinoyMoneyAcademy.com/JTA. I hope to see you inside.